Porn and the Coolidge effect. How can a dopamine dependency impact your fidelity in your relationship? I'm Dr. Trish Leigh, brain health and sex addiction recovery coach. I received an email not too long ago from a person who said, it's very difficult for me to stay faithful to my partner because of the Coolidge effect. So I was inspired to make this video because I want to clear up what the Coolidge effect is. So you may have heard the story about President Coolidge and his wife walking through a farm. His wife walks through first and sees a rooster chasing down a hen. So she jokes with the people that she's with, tell President Coolidge about this, basically implying he should chase her down more. So then when President Coolidge walks by, he says to the person, "Is it just one hen?" And then he laughs. So the idea is that rooster's chasing down multiple hens, not just one. But I do want to tell you that President Coolidge was quoted on his death saying that his wife was his beloved and that she showed him so much grace over his lifetime. So obviously that's joking. So the idea is that the Coolidge effect, the way that it gets misrepresented is that it's normal, that it's totally okay for a man to not be able to stay committed to his partner because when a desirable partner comes up, it's nature, it's human nature to go after another sexually available partner. So we need to back this up and we're going to think about two things. We're going to think about a study that talked about the Coolidge effect. It's a rat study. First thing I want you to know is that rats are animals that mate. They are not animals that bond. Mating means that animal will be with a whole bunch of different partners because the idea is copulation for reproduction to basically survive and to try to lock up lineage and have more offspring. So that's mating. Pair bonding are animals that will bond for life. So it's kind of the idea of thinking about fidelity or monogamy in a relationship. So there's animals that are pair bonded animals versus animals that are mating animals. So the first study that talked about the Coolidge effect is a rat study. And what that study showed is that rats would mate and copulate with one partner to satiation. They didn't want to mate anymore. But then when another desirable partner was introduced into the room, the rat would mate with that partner again, even though he didn't have interest in mating with the first partner. So that first partner isn't his pair bonded partner. It's not his partner in crime. Like I call the hubs my PIC. That rat that he just copulated with, not his PIC. It is just a rat that he copulated with. New rat comes in. Even though he's satiated, he wants to copulate with this one. So the idea is it's actually that the rat went for excessive copulation. It wasn't that was a healthy behavior. It's that he's trying to lock up offspring and likely trying to get higher levels of pleasure by the new partner that's introduced. Now let's back up to what Darwin studied. Darwin, you've probably heard of Darwin and evolution, survival of the fittest. What Darwin studied were pair bonded animals, animals that would mate for life. They would become PICs. What he found in the animal kingdom, in this case of pair bonded animals, is that the top tier males would want to mate with the top tier females first. Then what would happen is what would be left over were the lower level females, which would then mate with the lower level males. So top tier males wanted to be with top tier females. Lower level females and males would be together because basically that is what was left over. So hopefully you're following me. So when it comes to pair bonded animals, they bond and they mate for life. So in that situation, mates want a top tier mate. So humans are pair bonded animals. And what is happening with porn is that porn introduces high levels of dopamine. It introduces seeking and searching behavior. And when we talk about porn, we're talking about high-speed internet porn that essentially you can have hundreds or thousands of quote unquote potential partners because they're not real, they're fantasy. They come up and you can go through partner after partner after partner after partner. It's not real, but it will trick your brain into thinking, oh, I'm going to move on to the next one. I'm going to move on to the next one. I'm going to move on to the next one. And it's moving on to higher levels of dopamine. So essentially, the more you watch porn, we know this from science, the less satisfied you are with your partner. And part of that, a large part of that, is because your brain has been conditioned to look for more partners because of all the seeking and searching behavior. The seeking and searching behavior is linked to dopamine. It's a dopamine behavior. You know, all the streaming services, all the services are aware of this, that the more you look, you will continue to find, which will make you look again and want to find something better. So the more you do that, the more your brain gets conditioned to do that, the less happy you are with your partner. So then, of course, when a new partner is introduced, because that's what your brain is used to, that is where your brain will go. So just think about this logically. If you weren't engaging in those behaviors, you would be happier with your partner because inherently humans are pair bonded animals. We want to exist in a tribe because it's best for our survival. That is natural order. Porn distorts natural order and it makes you want to seek and search, like the Coolidge effect and like the rats. So if you're struggling with fidelity, it's not because of your natural propensity to keep looking for a better partner. It's because of the distortion that porn has created that's making you do that. Minus porn, you wouldn't be looking all over the place for the next partner to copulate with. All right, I hope this helps you out because my goal is that you can heal your brain. And I've heard this from so many clients. When the fog has cleared from their brains, they're bewildered of the thought processes that they had before the fog cleared. So when their brain was influenced by porn and they were seeking and searching lots of different partners, when the fog clears and their brain heals and it rewires back to the optimal mode, they're like, I can't believe I ever did that. And especially if they're doing it at the detriment of their relationship. So I want you to know when you unwire and rewire your brain, especially when you hardwire it into the optimal mode, you can look forward to calmer days enjoying your PIC. All right. Hope this helps you out. If you want more information, please go over to drtrishleigh.com. I'd love to help. And until next time, control your brain or it'll control you.